Women separated from their families and subjected to sexual abuse. Dead bodies left out in the open for days. Shortages of food and water. Shocking claims from an aid worker in Sri Lanka as this programme obtained the first independently filmed pictures from one of the internment camps set up by the authorities to house Tamils who fled the civil war. Channel 4 News managed to get cameras past the army checkpoints into a camp in the northern city of Vavuniya, where Tamils who've escaped the battle zone have been taken. Our Asia correspondent Nick Payton-Walsh has this report.
These are Sri Lanka's internment camps where tens of thousands of Tamils who fled the war are held. As a journalist, you can't come here unless the army guides you around. But these pictures were taken independently by a cameraman for Channel 4 News who managed to get into the camps. He filmed for the first time people talking freely about life here. They wanted their identities hidden, but spoke of the thirst, the struggle that came here after the perilous trek from the front lines. One man said he's an aid worker at the camp.
Personally, I saw 4 dead bodies inside the camp, 3 women and a man. Worms came out of the mouth of one. It must have been there for 3 to 4 days. People just live with the dead bodies without doing anything. Some children were close to one. They didn't know that it was dead. People don't know who to complain to, so they just leave it. I saw mothers unable to feed their children. One asked me with tears for 2 spoons of milk powder to feed her kid, but I couldn't help her.
Stories of families separated by war and then imprisoned apart during the peace. Fathers and mothers without their children. This man looking for his parents.
There's still children here without their parents. They're living through hardship. We don't have a life here. This is a jail. We don't know who is alive and who is dead.
We learned of 2 children who died when they were caught up in a crowd that was trying to get to a food distribution truck. People were exhausted. They were only thinking about getting food, nothing else. Not even children under their feet. There's a lack of coordination and competence here. The government's only objective is to eradicate people from the areas the Tamil Tigers controlled.
The government denies these allegations and says it's mounting a huge aid effort. But another aid worker at the camp made a more serious claim. She said she believed soldiers were abducting young women and sexually abusing them.
One elderly mother was crying inside the camp. I asked why. She said they'd taken her daughter away and she hadn't heard from her at all. There were many people taken from the camps that go missing. The women are sexually abused and no one takes any action. There's no one to complain to. Nobody dares to talk. They know they're being watched. They're afraid they'll go missing.
She said women had to bathe in the open, in front of everyone in the camp, an indignity that's also sparked grave fears for their safety. Yesterday, aid workers found the bodies of at least 3 women dead at a bathing area in the camp called Zone 2. It's not clear how they died, but the incident has caused the UN to ask for the soldiers guarding the bathing area to be replaced by 20 female police officers, and for civilians, not the police and army, to investigate complaints of sexual abuse in the camp. The military says the allegations were part of a Tamil Tiger information